recording. Rocky, what did you do to the survey? You should do it. It's nice, quick, and easy. It's a small one this time around. You don't ask too much. Alright. So we'll go ahead and get started. Alright. Hi everyone, welcome to the Absolute Kakegurui podcast, the Reddit server's exclusive podcast. I'm your co-host, Gammy. It'll just be me. Cubed was not able to join us. Oh, is it still cutting? Does it work better if I'm talking like this? Sir? Let's see if that's any better. Okay, cool. So it's the angle I'm at. Fun, fun, fun.
Twist you around. Sweet. All right, so again, it'll just be me today. Cubed was unable to join us this morning. Again, as mentioned earlier in the chat, if we receive enough feedback regarding the best time to host this podcast, we will adjust accordingly. Happy to see a lot of new faces here today. I will start with the server forecast per the usual. We are sitting at 8,490 members, close to 9,000, which is fantastic. Then we're at 34 boosts. I know we were sitting at 33 for some time. I'm happy to see that we've got one more. So thank you everyone for continuing to boost the server. Doing that allows us to keep our cute emotes that we love to spam, as well as other features. Right? All right. With that, we'll do a recap of the previous episode. So last week we covered cooking and who would be the best Kakegurui cast member and who would be the worst at cooking. Based off of what I recall from last time, we came to the consensus that Kirari cannot cook whatsoever. Put the whole brownie box. I don't know where Cubed is. Whoever can find Cubed can get some sort of prize, imaginary prize. Tried to touch base with him, but he just wouldn't connect, so he's out in ether, right? Yeah, he's smoking his 15 cigs. I'll have to catch him when he's not on his smoke break. Yeah, so last week we covered cooking. Fun conversation there. I think we had Sayaka and Ryota for most supportive cook consecutively through the responses, which was pretty fun. This week we will be going over the next scenario number 3, which was the question of babysitting. So who could handle and take care of children and who could not. So we'll be going over those responses real quick. Or not real quick, I'll take my time because why not? That. In regards to the number of responses that we got, let me see here. Got like 3 screens open. The early 2000s definition of a hacker right now. Trying to click through stuff. All right, here. I'd also love to welcome one of you onto the stage, any of the actual server members, to be a guest host, if you would like, since it's just me this morning. If one would be willing. Yeah, I guess duke it out, whoever wants to do it. We're going to have you guys switch through both of you if you guys would like. Let me know, because, again, I'm looking at so many screens right now. Got too much to do all by myself. Yeah, just raise your hand if you want to join me up on stage and talk while I get this all set up here. Okay, I've got cooking scenario. Google's like, hey, you want to see every other survey that you've ever done and not the one you need? Love to see it. stop being nice and one of you pick, or I'll just chuck both of you up on here and then. All right, I guess we'll go with blue. You want to raise your hand, blue, and I'll jump you on up in here. I'm sad I drank all of my Starbucks from yesterday. I don't have any caffeine in me right now, just pure H2O. All right, click. Invite to speak. You have been invited. I think you have to accept the invite to come up and speak. Maybe. That's the podcast time one. Scenario 2. Oh, do I have to go to shared with me? Google is a butt. Why do we still use Google, honestly? Hello, welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
Doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Being hostless.
I mean, it's co-host for a purpose, so kind of see why, but is what it is. You already have fans.
No, don't do that.
All
so
right.
how did we actual babysitting topic? Was that just one of those suggestions that came at the end of last episode?
Yeah, I believe so. I think someone brought it up. Can't remember who. I want to give credit, but I think I'll do that next time so the person gets proper recognition. Yeah, someone had brought it up during our discussions, and they're like, "Oh, that's a fun one." So do that. Cool. Did you fill out the survey?
Yes, I filled out the survey.
Okay.
So I'm ready to defend my opinions and possibly prove again.
Okay. Ooh, nice. We've got a pretty little pie going on. We got 8 responses, and it's actually pretty nicely split for all of them, actually. Okay. Awesome. All right. So I guess you can go first with yours then.
All right. I think so. What was the first question?
First question was, which character from Kakegurui would be the best with children?
And I said Itsuki because Toy Company, obviously they do those those test runs where they bring in kids to go and actually test out the toys and equipment and whatnot and see what's the most fun and whatnot. So I'm sure she's got experience with that, if not already being a part of those groups of kids that would test out those toys.
Perfect. All right. I'm going to just drop everything. Then the second question was, which character would be the worst with children?
The worst with children? Who did I say? I'm trying to remember what I wrote down. I did it a while ago.
Bruh, kidding. All right, let me see if I can find your individual response.
No, it's okay. The worst one.
I mean, just start listing them off then. Who do you think would be the worst? Because honestly, offhand, I can think of a couple.
I think Hirari would just scare off the poor kids. I'm trying to remember, trying to see. Derp's just trying to come after me. I don't know what your problem is. You're just wanting to fight me on everything. Mark Zuckerberg didn't grow up with Facebook. She grew up in that company, so Itsuki would actually know how the company works and would have been playing with those toys before actually moving up in the ranks to know how the company functions.
Ooh.
But anyway, for the worst one, oh my gosh, who did I write down to put as the worst one? Because I think Ririka would accidentally scare kids and wouldn't talk to them.
For sure.
The worst one. Oh my god, I don't remember who I wrote down.
I honestly think maybe Yuriko would be.
Yumemi, that's who I was saying.
Oh, okay.
The worst. I think Yumemi would be the worst one. Yumemi would have the act of being able to deal with kids for like me 2 seconds. And someone would need to drop in and like pull her away from the kids. Like it's not a part of her contract. You can see it in her face, no matter like how she can put up a good act. I don't think she'd be able to go and do it for very long. I don't think you can get her to go and babysit. It's not in her contract.
Love it. That's perfect. Alright, and then the other one was, which character would the children find the most fun to play with / be around, and why?
I think Ryota. I think Ryota would probably, Ryota or Mary. I think they would probably be the ones that would be the most fun to be around with the kids.
Really, Mary?
Yeah. So just based off of Mary's kind of like, she has somewhat humble beginnings, and I know she doesn't get along when it comes to her competitive nature, but
Right.
I feel that kind of balances out with her actually having a caring heart and dealing with kids. I think she would do it.
That's her. Okay. I can see that. I love you, Memi, though. Gosh, you're so right on that. Just not there for it at all. All right.
But she would have been as a kid seeing those toys. She would have been surrounded with whatever prototypes or things would have come up. So yes, she would have had experience with the toys in her toy company.
Yeah. I could definitely see Itsuki when she was younger, definitely being a part of those focus groups that her dad's company would run. Cool. All right, so I'll go through the responses. The first response we got for which character from Kakegurui would be the best with children. Someone said Ryota. You can see why. See, I love, for all the hate Ryota gets in this server, he ends up being the most responsible in people's opinions every single time.
I think that's just because people like the crazy characters.
That's fair.
Like, oh, it's more enjoyable if their personality's not the standard of what you usually encounter in real life. So if someone's just a little bit unhinged, they like those characters more. But when it comes to actual, someone needing to be level-headed, then you kind of go to Ryota.
Yeah. I think, is he the most normal?
I think he's the most normal. I can't think of anyone else who would be more normal than him, unless Derp's got something to say.
He's typing. All right. The mailman. What mailman? What? I'm confused. Ryota's from what? Hold
he's
up.
gonna go find the
mailman.
mailman.
I need proof of this mailman. I'm already losing my voice.
He's gonna come back with the name of the voice actor that voices the mailman too.
That's rude if he's a silent man. Mailman.
The mailman or Ryota? Who's the mailman could be crazy.
That's true. He has to deliver stuff to that school every single day.
Yeah, he could be a spy, someone on the inside. Kind of like from the anime, like Ray.
Yeah.
Swear to God. Unbelievable.
Mailman at Go Postal.
No.
I'm gonna add him to the character list moving forward now.
Oh, lovely. See how many people vote that just to go and troll the numbers.
And those that aren't here will have no idea who we're talking about.
And Derp doesn't come back with any information on this mailman. Unbelievable. As expected.
Oof. Wow. Threw a punch. Alright.
Wants to fight, but no evidence to support it.
Their other answer was, which character would be the worst with children? They said Runa. I honestly don't really agree with that. I think she would know how to handle children and get them to play games. And the minute she does that, I mean, kids will love you.
You don't think Runa would get upset? Yeah, like Skipper said, and stuff, being mistaken for a kid, and then just gets mad because they're like, hey, come play with us. I was like, I'm not one of you. Because I can see that maybe that would be kind of like the breaking point for Runa, would just be like, oh, you have to babysit these kids, but the kids don't understand, or they end up being taller than her, and they're like, why do we have to listen to you when you're half our height? And then she just gets mad and probably kicks them in the shin, not necessarily proving herself to be the more mature one, but trying to instill some type of dominance when she doesn't have height advantage.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, alright. There's validity there. Oh, okay, but then this person went and said the character that the children would find the most fun to play with or be around would also be Runa.
Would also be Runa?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, and it was Saint. How much he hates Runa. I'm proud he admitted that she would be good with kids. Or not good, but, like, have fun with them. Tolerable, I guess, is the word.
5'11" are absolutely frightening. I can't deal with that. Some of these kids just sprout ridiculously fast. And it's like, I didn't even get that close.
Can kill her.
It's not fair. I don't know what they're being fed. It's got to be the iPads, the radiation.
The radiation.
Yeah, probably. Yep. That's what's making them grow at exponential rates. Because I didn't have that growing up. Let me age myself.
Next one for which character would be the best. They said Sayaka. Only in the case of, like, if the headcanon was that she had siblings. If not, I don't think she would be good with kids.
I think Sayaka could be good with kids in of the fact of achieving the goals of protecting and watching over them. Mm-hmm. But in terms of the actual personable aspect, yeah, like Skipper said, just being awkward around them. Like, Sayaka will make sure they're fed, make sure they're bathed, all of that they're in bed at a certain amount of time. But the process of doing so and trying to be friendly with them is what I think that she would be falling in. Yeah, like a tutor, not a babysitter.
Exactly, yeah. Like babysitting, no. But, yeah, she would be most awkward.
Those kids wouldn't forget her, though.
No.
That would be the worst person they've ever met in their lives. Like, she read a book to us with no emotion and then didn't understand why we weren't asleep 20 minutes into her story.
Worst monotone reading of Brown Bear, Brown Bear.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, then they said the worst would... Or they said they were not really sure who the worst would be. However, they said the best, or the, not best, most fun to play with or be around. They said Yumemi, she can sing them songs and put their asses to sleep, hopefully. Also probably because they would find her idle personality cute.
Yeah, I think the kids would probably find her fun. But I think, like, on my thing in terms of choosing Yumemi being the worst one, I think it would just be... She has to keep a distance from them. Don't try and break the idol aspect of I think that, yeah, she'd probably be the most fun to them. Mm-hmm. Someone that, big brothers or sisters know of stuff. And, yeah.
For sure. I can see, if we're talking, like, babies and, like, toddlers who are in their, like, nasty phase of just chewing up food and then handing you that chewed up food, Yumemi would be the worst and just not be able, like, hazmat suit that experience. I think it'd be cute if, kind of like that episode of Violet Evergarden where they had where the little girl thought that Violet was a doll, like an actual doll. I think especially with how Yumemi dresses, kids would have fun with that costume and that outfit.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god.
He exists.
They found the mailman. He's there.
He's
a screenshot.
real.
He's there.
Why does his hat look like M. Bison's hat, though?
Don't do that.
He's got sideburns, too. Can't believe M. Bison's son goes to the account.
That is impressive. It's Bison's son. That's why he's there.
That can't be a shadow. If his head is tilted that way, that's a huge shadow. I think they're sideburns. High schoolers.
I think they do that. He's going to show up later.
Sideburns.
Before.
Which episode 4? So he said episode 4.
So he popped up in episode 4? Yeah. What did he do? We need his side profile. We need to investigate the so real or not. Derek, continue your research. Report back.
Alright. Next one was, they said, best character would be Sayaka for sure, but honorable mention for Ryota. Okay, so 2 consecutive most responsible people.
Sayaka over Ryota?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we kind of spoken about them. But yeah.
Yeah.
Being a babysitter, then yeah, Sayaka would do better.
Okay, worst, they said Yumemi. For sure.
Woo!
And then the most fun to be with, they said Yumeko. I guess she'd always find something fun to play with the children, although it's 100% likely to be a gamble. Runa too. After all, she's a kid. That was Oak.
Oh, no. I'm trying to piss off Runa. But Yumiko being the most fun to be around?
I think she would be tentative and like super like nervous around kids. I don't know.
Now Derp's just trying to be funny. I'm kind of stuck on Yumiko. I don't know how she actually would deal with children.
I think with outgoing children, she might be okay and like vibe off of them. But like if they're quiet spoken and whatnot, I think it would be a bit of a weird scenario. Very awkward, tentative. I don't know, like she seems to be like someone who's like, this is a porcelain thing, I don't want to interact with it too aggressively.
Well, it's like there's that, and then also trying to figure how does Yumiko actually end up in a scenario which you would be. It was like following. Oh, it's.
Oh, you're cutting out.
That hat doesn't look like one that would need a strap. Oh.
Is that? Hold up. I gotta lean into the screen.
I know. I keep looking in on my phone to try and look at
it's a strap. Okay. Yeah, it's just.
Now I'm disappointed. I liked it better when they were sideburns. They looked nice.
Right? Sad.
Yep. No, it's just a strap on the hat. I don't think I've ever seen a hat that does that, like at least here in the U.S.
No. For a mailman? No.
No. Well, I mean, they usually have baseball caps out here.
That's true. It's so militaristic. It's so weird for a mailman. Maybe
well, he might have to wear it if he's like on his bike bringing the mail in. So if he's like riding his bike, then maybe he might need to wear that. He should have a helmet if he is on a bike, though. Mailman lore.
Maybe the hat is a helmet. It's just shaped like a hat, so the whole thing is just really freaking solid.
Yeah.
Heavy freaking hat.
Well, I mean, if we're still on the M. Bison like theory and stuff, then maybe it is.
Okay. Yeah. Totally gonna stick onto that lore.
But back to Yumiko. I think being the most fun around.
Like I think she can come up with the games.
I think she'd have to be babysitting with someone else. Like maybe Mary or Ryota, like maybe if it was a joint effort, but I don't know if I can imagine her on her own with kids and the intention of being fun and interacting with them and making it fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here comes Derp typing to tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I agree with you because I can't see it, to be honest, but you know.
I just think it would need to be a scenario where she, like, if maybe she has to actually.
No, say it, fight.
Don't say it, fight me.
Do it.
I just think it would have to be a scenario where Yumiko would have to be, like, part of her whole gambling thing. It was just like, maybe, like, you know, like, say if we were to put her in a scenario where she had to entertain a group of kids, yes, she would do that. But if it's not necessary or going towards a specific goal that she has, I can't imagine that she would be able to do it, at least on her own.
Yeah. I
mean, yes, she's a younger sibling. We don't know if there's any further family besides her and her older sister, but I don't think she has the social aptitude to really interact with kids to make it fun. And I know you brought up the whole, like, oh, we'll play gambling and whatnot and stuff, but it's not like she'd be necessarily... Like, maybe she'd do that when it comes to, like, oh, you know, the kids want to choose their lunch and they want either chicken nuggets or they want a sandwich. And she'll rock, paper, scissors them to go and decide what they're going to eat for lunch or flip a coin and stuff. Like, maybe she'll do that to go and make things fun. But outside of it not being involving gambling, I don't think I can't imagine normal for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Concerned that they're trying to get a coin for this. Like, who taught you?
our babysitter. All right. Which one, Blue or I? Blue. All right. Next response we got. Let me just make sure it is the next one. Okay. Yeah. Holy sentence. Awesome. Or sentence. Paragraph. For best, they said Ryota. Worst, they said Midori. See, but I think it would be funny, or it'd be interesting if she was actually good with kids. She doesn't look the part, but she would be good with kids. And like her bag and whatnot, it's kind of cute. So I don't know. There's
For who again?
They said worst would be Midori.
Oh, I haven't even thought about me dealing with kids.
Because I feel like there's a level of maturity to her that isn't quite seen in the other characters. Like there are points and times when she's more down to earth than some of the other characters, which is interesting.
I guess, but I'm just trying to think. So, like with Midori with kids, that just sounds like a bad thing. I don't like. I'm on the side of the of that vote. I don't.
I guess.
I don't know. Like, I mean, maybe. I think it would be to the same extent of like Yumiko, where she would take care of the kids as needed, but the gambles would be scarier.
Yeah.
Where she'd just be betting with the kids. I bet you can't hop off of the swing at this height, and have the kids like twisting their ankles and stuff on things, and it would just be a problem.
But I mean, us as kids were already doing that unsupervised, so.
Yeah, well, like Skipker said, don't let the gal with weapons and self-harm problems near kids. Yeah.
All right. Okay, they said the most fun to be with or around would be Ryota. He's the closest to a normal person in the entire series. He also spends all of his time babysitting Yumiko, so he knows what he is doing. Ray would be good for pampering the children, but she doesn't know how to let loose, which I'm no babysitter, but I imagine interaction is important when babysitting.
Yeah, the kids have to like you in order for them to listen to you.
Nice, and that was derp. Well thought out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see Ray very much spoiling those kids for things that she didn't have when she was younger. So that's kind of like her outlet. That's so sweet.
The children watching Midori doing anything. I'm in danger.
Nice, Momi. Yeah, I think Ray would probably show for those kids anywhere they wanted to go. No question. Barely any questions asked unless their parents like strictly gave them limits on stuff that they couldn't do.
I can see Ray spoiling them unintentionally.
Absolutely.
It would just be, it's just like, oh, you want these things, and then they go out, and it's just like they shouldn't have done that. But it's just like Ray doesn't have a background or a basis of knowing discipline or restraint for the kids.
It's too late. They've spent $200 at the candy kiosk in
Oh,
IKEA.
right. Oh, I guess this is how you take care of children, because I wasn't treated as a child growing up, so this is what normal kids do, right? No Ray.
Ray will ask the kids, and they're like, "Yep, exactly. Yes, we do this."
Yep. They realize that very quickly, and it goes downhill from there.
Exactly.
We can convince Ray that these are things that children get normally, and Ray will go along with it.
All right, next response was for best. They said Itsuki. This was yours. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, we already spoke about it. You need Derp to come back and tell me I'm wrong.
All right. Best. They said Mary. I can kind of see. Worst. They put everyone who was not Mary. Okay.
Oh dang.
And then most fun to be with, they said Itsuki. And that was Skipker. Skipker, would you like to hop on stage and discuss your input?
Ooh, guest speak. Oh,
Guest
yes.
speaker. Okay, cool. Raise your hand. Cool.
I mean, Ryota gets put as the butt of the joke sometimes, so I mean, it happens. I still think about those little side episodes that they have and the
I
bad
wish
luck
they
he runs
did
into
more
at
of
that.
those.
Those would be funny. I'd love to see more of those.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
Skipker. Yes, we can.
Okay, sweet. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, so you put best with children.
Mary.
Yeah. Explain.
I think
Explain.
Mary would be a good babysitter in that she is stern enough, to keep kids in line.
Yeah.
She might not be the most fun babysitter all the time, but she can get kids down for a nap, get them to brush their teeth, eat their dinner, eat their vegetables, that sort of thing. I think she's a lot more personable than a lot of the other students. And in terms of like Ryota and him also being bad at babysitting, I just don't think it's something that he's done before, having to, wrangle or include like the skills needed to make sure that the kids do what they're supposed to. I think that he would be chasing kids around a lot and having an issue with that, trying to get them to listen. He is too easy to boss around, and I feel like a little kid with enough of an attitude problem would be able to get to make it a difficult job for him, whereas Mary will not be pushed around by anyone. She won't be pushed around, especially not by little kids. So I think that she would be a good babysitter, not the most fun babysitter, but a good one.
Okay. Speaking of this, reminds me, Castle of Lions actually translated a chapter of Kari where Mary and Ryota were babysitting. So I'm going to put that in the stage chat. So what you said actually pretty aligns fairly well with that chapter there. It's lots of text, but it's a fun one. Right. So fits the scenario perfectly.
Oh, I haven't read this, but
no.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, everything you just said works pretty well with that whole chapter. So that's a fun one. All right, and then you said the most fun to be with and around was Itsuki.
Yeah, I think Itsuki would be the most fun, not just because of like the toy thing, but I don't know. She seems like, personally, out of the entire cast, she seems like she would be the most fun to hang out with. I don't know how else to explain it, but
yeah, I'll take it down in a minute. I just wanted everyone to see it and read it while we're on.
But yeah, Itsuki would be the most. Because, I mean, she's kind of bossy, but she's not. I think in the scenario where she's around a kid or a bunch of kids, she would be the one who would like play tag with the kids, hide and seek, that sort of thing. Yeah. And I feel like that kind of is included in her experience with the toy company. Like, she may or may not have been a part of the focus groups, but she knows what kids like. And so that would make her more inclined to do things that kids enjoy doing.
For sure.
I think that it kind of ties in with her boastful nature, where she likes to impress and she likes to show off. And I think that if it's something that feels that it's in her alley or in her field, she's like, I can excel at this, so I'll go and show you guys that I have the best things to go and keep you happy, that she would probably do that.
Right.
So yeah, I agree with you that she'd be probably the most fun.
Oh, I can see that now. Cool. All right. Do you have any other comments you'd like to give, Skipker?
No, I think I said everything. And Derp agreed with me, so kudos to me. Wait.
Right? Yeah, you win this episode. You got Derp to agree with you, so good job.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Thanks, Skipker.
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. All right, so move on to the next one. Said for best, they put Sumika or Runa. Okay. And then worst, they put Ray. So I don't know if I agree with right now.
I think if we're talking about like Ray not actually understanding how children are supposed to be treated,
That's fair.
like in terms of the actual duties of babysitting, I can see Ray being the worst one.
Mm.
Just off of the fact that there's certain things that you need to do and they would spoil them.
Yeah. For the most fun to be around, they put Yumeko because of their stubbornness and bravery. She expressed this with Erika. Okay, and that was a Tekken 4 arcade cabinet. Was unable to join us, sadly. But yeah, interesting take. See, I still can't really see Yumeko.
Yumiko's still one I'm trying to wrap my head around to make sense. But I mean, kind of like that kindergarten thing and stuff in terms of it being like a joint effort. Then I could see it working out with taking care of the kids. But Yumiko around kids, I can see it more. I can see it better than I can see Mirari with children.
I just think it'd be funny if she was actually one of the better ones that could handle kids. That would be quite the twist. All right, then the last response we got, they put best character with children, Yumeko. Worst would be Mary. And then most fun would be Runa. She's younger and plays games. She's not younger. She's one of the older cast members. She's a third year.
Mad. Did they say, please tell me this is either a troll or this is someone that agreed to pop onto the podcast? We need to have a discussion.
They sadly said no, that they were not going to discuss their opinions.
They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing.
How?
I am irate.
I have not seen this sadly, in any of our other responses. They may have responded like in an earlier survey, but I can't recall this user at all. That is so...
Oh my god.
Runa, because she's younger and plays games.
Oh, did they write an explanation?
Not for Runa, but it was just because she was younger and she plays games. That's it. For Runa. That's not...
They gave a reason, but it wasn't actual canonical. She's not. She's older.
She's an old lady.
Absolutely threw me off my game. How?
I love that it's the last one too, so everything we've built up just gets destroyed by this.
Just went out the window immediately because against everything. We were like, oh yeah, I can see those points. I can see. What is this? What is?
Yeah, she's a third year with Kirari and
the
Lirika.
And looks the most childlike. She is on the older side. She leaves next year. She's done with school. Oh, she's young. She'll be good with it. No.
Joke's on us. Runa has been just a middle schooler with the rest of the high school cast this whole time. Didn't even know it.
She's a super senior. She has not moved from being a first year. She is on the older side, but she's just repeated that grade repeatedly.
She's a super senior.
A super senior, just been there for years. No one knows. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, she was there before Kirari and Yuririka transferred over
too. For them, this would be fun. I want to see how this goes. Fails math and science. Let's go.
That means
my head can't.
My goodness!
You got the best babysitter.
I want to know how, because like I have not seen her nurture anyone really besides maybe offering Sayaka a handkerchief. She was about to blow up before the Tower of Doors.
I can't make sense of it. I can't make sense of it.
I want to see their brain. I really do.
Right. Like Skip Greer said, drops a bomb, refuses to take responsibility for it. They can't even come on to explain their reasoning on here.
Gone with
Mary,
the
the
wind.
worst babysitter. When she's like one of the more normal people, besides just her anger issues, to probably take care of the kids.
Exactly. And like all of Kakegurui Twin is just her taking care of all of the kids at that school and them falling in love with her. So like definitely a nurturer.
Yeah, so she guides and mentors and whatnot, and so she's the worst. How?
She's literally taking care of the worst child at the school right now, which is Yumeko.
Oh my goodness. This is...
Their temper tantrums and whatnot. Gosh.
I just...
Insane.
I can't. It's just... That's... I mean...
It's over. We will move on. Well, that was the last response. So next is to honestly put the floor open to any ideas as to what next episode should be. We were tossing the idea around of doing kind of like a March Madness voting thing for favorite Bommy. So creating a tier list, or not tier list, but a bracket, and having people vote between each Bommy and have it lead up to the actual favorite Bommy. But we'd have to have a lot of participation in regards to answering surveys.
All of them. They gamble. All of them commit war crimes. Every single one.
I think Kirari and Sachiko have already done so.
They've already
they've already done it. Like, after high school, they've got the SWAT just waiting for them outside of the doors.
And there's so much, just blacklist folders just sitting on all of these kids for the horrible things that they've done.
Exactly. Maybe who's the least, but we all know that's Ryota. Maybe.
I'm curious, and maybe I haven't been paying attention because I've only been kind of catching up to the chapters. And
there's just 2 steps.
What does Ryota say? There's a few steps between gambling and murdering civilians.
Just 2.
You haven't played Fire Emblem, I guess. How did Ryota get to the school?
I don't know, actually. And I wish I had my volumes with me, because I feel like maybe they mention it in the first volume, but I don't think they do, because he gives the whole introduction on what the school is. All we know is Kirari transferred in her second year, or her first year. She transferred in halfway through her first year. Runa's been there. Then Yumeko transferred in. Mary was a scholarship kid and came in her first year. And I don't think they've touched on any of the other characters. Well, I mean, Sayaka came up through the middle school, so she's been there.
Yeah, she's a part of the school
Sayaka
system.
and Midori went through middle school at Hikau. So I think they're the only ones that we've actually seen either the longest. But
okay.
I'm
just curious about Ryota's background as to how he ended up there. Or if you think maybe they're keeping that under wraps intentionally. Or if he really is just a normal student at the school.
I mean,
but that'd
be fun if he wasn't just a normal student. But I kind of feel like they've driven that idea so far that he is.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't remember how Ryota got into school. Or what his background is as to how he got in there.
Yeah, which sucks, because then maybe he wouldn't get as much hate. No one else gets attention. But who knows? Hopefully. I hope he comes back in like the next chapters or so, as much as I love seeing Sayaka and some of the other characters.
I think he can commit war crimes. Maybe this should be a question that would come up next week.
We want to go forward with war crimes? Do we ask what war crimes?
Yeah, but you'd have to ask everyone to go and find out what specific war crime would they be most likely to go and commit.
Okay.
And stuff. But I like the bracket, too, to go and try and do that voting thing and kind of walk through it.
No, it's too late. We're thinking too hard about this. Well, okay, it could also play into, because one of the live actions has them in jail jumpers, which, again, I still don't know why or how, and I probably will never know why or how until I ask someone who has seen it. But definitely ask who's the most likely to go to jail. Jail for what? For how long? Rather than war crimes, so that we're not stepping on anything. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the ones that
Okay.
work.
You just have to find out who has political connections.
Oh.
Who doesn't, though? At this
Who
point.
doesn't have political connections?
Because
now we're just gonna have to go and do more research here and then come back at that point. Unless you do the bracket of being like,
yeah, just marry. Just marry. Everyone
Mary's
else
the
is going to
only-
jail. Because I think
That's
the
why I was
minute
asking about real.
I think the minute you're Obama, you're just wow. What?
Oh, hello?
That's not.
Hello,
Is
what
that
is this?
real? I can't tell. I can't tell if that's real. I don't know if I want to know if that's real.
Where did you have this? Do you have this saved and just ready?
It has a lot
what
of weird
game is
pictures
this?
saved and just ready.
This is impressive. I feel like it's like
Honestly.
a gotcha game that you would play. But okay, then I guess Itsuki would be the. She has war crimes. That's the war crime outfit. What?
If
Oh
Ryota
my
was the
God.
PM's son, wow.
I did.
She's I can't. Well, that is insane. I'd watch that though.
Do you think Midori would just
You cut out. You're cutting out. You thought he would what?
no? It's because of time and stuff that's happening.
No, I think Midori would what? Use that gun? Yes.
No, well, yes, use the gun, but I mean, so she's a danger. But I don't like. Does she seem like someone who would be super weapons proficient?
Just to be so, yes. I think I can see her liking guns and wanting to, or no weapons, but to use them against people and like that military head type of person, no.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I think like if Kidari was like, oh well, I'd like to see an AK-47, Midori would totally pull that out of her bag for some random reason. No one would question it.
Something else we could do is probably do like a anymore. We're doing
Hunger Games?
all these kids and seeing who would. Yeah,
Do we do it just asking
it
people?
could be like who would live through.
Okay, so a bracket and asking who would live through and work our way through it.
Possibly, yeah. It was just like kind of like a head-to-head. It was like who would win in a fight.
Okay. Ooh.
That could be something. It's just like head-to-head, like who would actually win in a fight and move forward. Because
Okay.
I mean, they're all playing mind games and doing the whole gambling thing, but like physically, fight. Who would go up to the table? Midori would shoot and kill everyone but Yumiko. And then she'd hand off the gun. Yes, to
To
Yumiko.
Yumiko.
And have her kill her. That's her ultimate goal.
Exactly.
But Yumiko wouldn't do it because
No.
that's not fair.
Mm-mm.
She'd be like, no, why would you do that? I'm not killing you. You have to kill me because that's how you won.
Oh my god. Okay. Gosh. I think that would, yeah. Okay. I'm okay. Yeah. We'll go ahead with the 1v1. I will set up that
And just
bracket,
do it.
randomize it, I guess, and try and not put my favoritism into it. Boxing matches. Yeah, we'll do maybe 2. One with weapons, one without. Because I think,
Derek
like we
volunteered
just
to
said.
be the co-host for that one.
All right. Sweet. But yeah, okay, cool. So I will maybe I'm kind of thinking 2 brackets, one with weapons because we doubt he's going to shoot to the top of that one fairly quickly, and then one without. Just
Yeah, that
see where
works.
that goes.
I think that works.
Okay.
Well, MMA fights.
Exactly. Okay. Awesome. So I will get those. Do we just want it randomized? Stop with cage matches. It's Fight Club. That's what the student council is.
I think randomizing the bracket and then putting that into voting to go and have people kind of vote through what those matchups, who would win those matchups as they move up the ranks, would probably work in.
And is there, with the list of characters I've put in the survey so far, is there a character you want to see have their own spot rather than just having that other slot listed as of late? 'Cause I know before, like when Turtles was more active here, cough, we voted for Sachiko a lot, so the mailman. Okay, I'll put the mailman in for the gun one, but not for the fist fight one.
Oh, okay.
The boy versus the mailman. It's my
Boy
favorite.
versus the mailman.
It's my favorite episode of The Mandalorian. Okay, cool.
All right. I think we're at time. It's 11.
Yeah, we are. Awesome. I will go ahead and close things out. Thanks, everyone. Had lots of laughs. I ended up crying, so it was fun. Super active chat. All right. So yeah, next week we will do another scenario, 1v1 fights. I guess we'll dub it Fight Club. And I will post those bracket surveys midweek or as early as I can get them. Also go back to uploading the YouTube recordings, just fixing some formatting on that end. But we'll get those back up for everyone to view. And we'll see you guys next week. The latest chapter, Chapter 87, was released July 22nd in the US and is available on Amazon, Comixology, Barnes & Noble, and more. Please visit Yen Press's official site, yenpress.com, for additional retailers. The next chapter is expected to release around the same time this month, so be sure to continue to support the official release of Kakegurui. We'll see you guys next week. Take care. Bye.